All right, people, this is Friendship Pearson. I apologize ahead of time. The video will probably be all over the place. It's Saturday. The date is September 21st of 2024. I'm at the Field Museum of Science and Industry on Lakeshore Drive, and I'm going to cover all things Egypt and maybe Africa. So I might talk and I might not on some issues, so we'll see. The Nile brings life to Egypt. Start Mediterranean Sea and work our way all the way down. All the way to the Red Sea. So, land of Egypt. Let's see what we can find interesting in here. I did a dry run, and I'm going to go straight to it. It's going to be kind of dark. I hope that the light comes through in time. I hope it does. Excuse me. So we're inside. You guys can make that out with the hieroglyphics. The hieroglyphics that I teach on the channel. Egyptian hieroglyphics. Interesting, huh? All-seeing eye. Every possible animal during that time. So yeah, we are in the Field Museum. You guys can see we have the different pottery as well. A lot of creativity there. I'm glad the camera can make adjustments in the dark. There's going to be a lot of areas where it's going to be dark. I'm here to explore the history in relation to the Bible and in relation to now. The sun god and Akhenaten. I believe this is what's coming back, people. Egyptian, the Pharaoh. This is what I believe is in our time, the sun god, of which they worshiped back in the day. It's amazing to me that mankind has decided to utilize the Egyptian as one aspect to the all-seeing eye there. Utilize the Egyptian as one aspect and they create their one world system. They have decided to do that. That's a mummy, people. That's a mummy. Look at that. That's a mummy. We're going to go downstairs. That's a mummy. Yeah, what's amazing to me that look down to see the mummy of a person buried at least 2,000 years after the tomb was built. So it's amazing to me. This must have been one of the main civilizations that did the idol worship and had some of the most advanced technology. Yet, as they turned away from God, they paid for it. You see the art and the etchings in the stone. I guess what they've done is that over the decades, they have brought these stones, and they actually brought them to these different museums throughout the world. And I'm thinking, when I was here, when I was a kid, you know, I didn't know what I was looking at, but of course this stuff tells stories. Hope I'm doing justice to the video. God put out there at the beginning, I will have no gods before me, no graven images. It happened, unfortunately, it did happen. Every civilization has something to offer. It's good to know this history, so when the powers use it, when they allegedly create events, you can look at things and you can decode it, because a lot of times they do use hieroglyphics. They do use hieroglyphics to speak people. I've done it for years on my YouTube channels. And like you, I learn as I go. Again, the walls tell stories. Throughout all of history, no matter what part of Earth you're on, you'll go inside the caves or outside, whether it's a pyramid or whatnot, they tell stories. I understand the Smithsonian Institute has one of the largest exhibits of history. And history that we don't know about or don't get to see. That's what I've read. It's getting darker. I have to literally walk up a winding staircase, people. I gotta figure it out. I'm gonna walk down a winding staircase. I did a dry run tour already, so bear with me. I'm gonna literally walk about 6 flights of stairs going down. I'm gonna go to the bottom floor. It will be more interesting than the top. I might go back to the ground level, but I might go back to the main floor. But right now I'm gonna go to the ground level. We're gonna look at the mummies and everything else. Again, this is French Shot Piercing. Welcome to French Shot Blue. It is Saturday, September. Exhibition continues, and so it does. Field Museum. Okay, let's see what we can look at here. Unica? ANKH, chamber. Okay, let's see what we got here. Did the robbers take everything? Although they're empty, small pottery, bowls, broken plate.
People would take things and bury them with all their belongings and stuff.
lot of these tombs, they bury things with them to go into the next life. I'm sure you guys have heard about that. A lot of the tombs, historically, they teach that they bury a lot of things with them going into the next life, like cats and stuff like that. This area here, I'm going to show you a window. These objects are only a small sample of the buried wealth of ancient Egypt. Most of it is gone, the gold and other metal stolen and melted down long ago. Some objects like these are preserved in museums around the world, and some still probably remain to be found. A few burials, rich or poor, entirely escaped the robbers. So as you can see, different rings they have. If you go right there, you'll see the Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus, left and right. Then you go down, you have the bracelets. I'm not sure if they have any insignias on them. This one has the bumblebee. This might be with the Masonic bee, the connection between the Masonic bee and Egyptian. This is a bee. See the bee? A whole row of bees. Bees. That's why when I do my videos and I see the bee, I think, or the butterfly, they speak without speaking. They speak without speaking. This is exhibit L6A, bottom floor.
And the bandages.
Let's see what else do we have here. Okay, we have Egyptians often reuse tombs. I didn't know that. A lot can happen over 3,000 years. Dynasties and families die out, leaving no one to care for the tombs of the ancient dead. Yet the massive tombs lived on. Sometimes, as in the case, a burial place might be reused hundreds or even thousands of years later. So we have a mummy here. We literally have a mummy encased and wrapped.
That's really, it's probably a really stinky
literal mummy, preservation, getting ready for the next world.
Things don't stink food all that long.
So
But
it's
also,
on the bottom.
that's just the thing they put on.
So if you unwrapped it, there would be
Probably just bones. Well, actually, no, sure. Mummified. Look.
What?
The organs are made to dry up, so they're actually still there.
This case is filled with fakes. I don't know what that means. I guess I'll take it literally.
Moisture is taking one so
And the pharaohs.
small and dry.
Different pharaohs.
Can I have a look?
Don't know what those things are called.
Sorry.
It's not here. Oh, blame it on the egg.
Well, you were sitting right here.
Miniature pharaohs as well. Miniature pharaohs. The throne of Pharaoh. I know I saw a lot of Nefertiti stuff the first time around, so I'm sure we'll run into that. And here's the pharaoh. See the different head on it? The different head. Don't know if that's a bird or a beast or a lion. I don't think it's an eagle, but the different pharaohs. The mummification. Again, this is French Shot Pearson. I'm in Chicago Film Museum. Open the French Shot Blue on YouTube. Let's look at this here. You see the background there?
said mommy.
Okay. So we're gonna go to another angle over here, see what's going on.
Mommy.
The mummy is life and afterlife. Many of us think the Egyptians were obsessed by death. That's because most of what we know about ancient Egyptians and most of the objects in museums come from burials. We may feel that funeral objects are morbid, but for the Egyptians, the whole point was to create a life after death that was very much like life on earth. Our burial scenes will show you the many steps Egyptians took to assure a comfortable and joyful eternal life for their loved ones. Guys can take a photo shot of that and freeze it and read it. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go further. A Dynasty 911 burial, first intermediate period. I wonder what that 911 stands for. 2230 BC. 2230 BC. A prayer for the repose of the dead. I'm not really eager to read that. You can screenshot that if you want. I'm not going to read it. I'm not into reading the prayer because of the history. Unless it's about Jesus, I ain't doing it. And this here is a long, I can't think of the word right now, but this thing is long, like a parchment paper type. I forgot what it's called, but it's long. A lot of cultures have this, where they have like a long sheet, so to speak. They have different designs and it tells stories on these things. I forgot what they're called. I probably need to go back to the beginning so I can read about it. Anyway, hieroglyphics are everywhere. I would encourage anybody to study for about a week hieroglyphics, because going forward, as we get into this beast system, you're going to see a lot of symbols. The Antichrist can't help himself. He's eager to create this one world system. You're used to seeing the Eye of Horus, and there's another name for this, but you're used to seeing that. But there are other things that they use. They use leopards, they use cats, all types of different designs they use at various degrees when they tell stories. And that's how I'm able to decode. Wealth of information, wealth of artifacts. I'm sure this tells stories as well. A model of the thing is as good as the thing itself. Wooden models become magically real in the afterlife. I guess that's a coffin. Look at those there. There is that magazine, the Christmas edition of The Economist magazine. A lot of this reminds me of that, where Obama's in a boat. It's The Economist magazine from 2012, December 22nd. Look it up. And Obama's in a boat. He's going through a canal. This kind of reminds me of all that. That's the new system that's coming into place, people. They just tell you in a different fashion. Here's another one here. Tell a story. I literally tell a story. It's fine. Here they are here. It's fascinating, isn't it? This is why God said, I have no gods before me. Look what's on his head. And you wonder why we see the Baphomet in the Hollywood everywhere. Does that not resemble the Baphomet all over the internet? Is that what this is about? The horse or the fox or whatever it is. Head of a cow. Another animal. Look at the animals on here. Looks like a bull. Looks like a leopard. It says the now conscious spirit arrives at the chamber of the two truths. The spirit of Isti begins her journey to the other world. What other world? These are the things which are contrary to Christianity. People get their own concepts through different civilizations and they run with it. Satan said he wanted to be like the Most High. Look at this figure. What is that? It's like a lion, also like a crocodile with the body of an elephant. Look at that thing. Look at that. This is why a lot of these civilizations have died out. Too much worshiping of the creation as opposed to the creator. And we're going back to that apostasy moment here in America throughout the world. Go back and watch my live video on YouTube titled We're in a Fix. This is what God's order spoke to God about. You gotta come, everything's out of order. We're going back to where it used to be. A hard scrap protective charm. This mummy's about 7 feet, people. Has inscriptions from the bottom all the way to the top. Look at that. I don't know about you, but I see an X. Look at that. I'm gonna start from the chin and go down. Watch this. You see the formation looks like a V? When it comes down, there's an X. That's deep, ain't it? Is this what an X originated from, people? Look at it again. Looks like a V, right? And it's like it's red and gold for Ra. The Ra color's in the V. It comes down. And gold at the tip. It's gold at the tip. And then it swirls. I guess like it's in another round, it swirls. Here we have again, mummified, the natural X. I guess that's just how the wrapping goes, but it's still an X nonetheless. So far we have 24 minutes. I'm gonna have to do this in two aspects. Like I said, these things are about 7 feet tall. And there are hieroglyphics throughout. When they buried Whitney Houston, this is what was outside. When they buried Whitney Houston, if you go ahead and go on YouTube and you watch the funeral of Whitney Houston, right outside the funeral home, this is what they had. They had these pharaohs. I wonder why. Did they come for her? It's deep, you know. Look at these things. This is what was outside of the funeral home of Whitney Houston when she died, before they put her body inside the hearse. Go back and watch it. I did a video on it on my other channel. I wonder why they did that. Were they speaking without speaking? All these different engraved etchings and hieroglyphics. Here we have one here, more detailed, and the actual traditional African and Egyptian colors. No doubt sun god as well. Sun god colors, orange gold. Positioning of the body from the head to the base. Again, you see the V at the chest. You see the V. The V. When they found the body of Joseph, 3 days ago, when they found the body of Joseph, who shot those 5 people, remember, from the chest up, there was nothing. They said the vultures got him, right? The separation from the navel to the head. Only the legs were left. They said the vultures got him. That's what they said. Okay, let's work our way back over. There's so much to look at, people. This is fabulous. Probably gonna make my way back here again. I've been trying to study, but because I do 3 or 4 videos a day, I haven't had a chance to study on my Egyptian history. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get out here and wing it. You guys are welcome to comment on whatever you see. Let me know whatever big city that you're in and what exhibit that you have in your city. Is it something similar to this? You're welcome to send me pictures. I could do a video on Egyptian, explain what you think it is. We always see the bird in the center. Always see the bird. Now America has a bird. Is that similar? Historically, to these civilizations, why the bird? It's fascinating. I wonder if they buried multiple families in the same tomb. Look at that.
Being amazed.
I wonder if they buried husband and wife in the same tomb. Look at that. Or babies in the same tomb. They probably did. Okay, let's make our way over. Very fascinating area. We're sitting on about 30 minutes here, 29 minutes. Here we have, I guess this is the inside of the tomb with the hieroglyphics as well. Or different etchings. A lot of birds, a lot of ducks, a lot of geese. There's a snake in the center here. Probably see the snake right there in the center. Snake at the top. At the top, there's your snake. preserving them for the next life. Preservation. I'm sorry. They tell stories, don't they? I wonder, was there a common thing that they placed in the coffin? Was there a common thing that went when he died? I guess depends on what's close to you. You would take your cat with you or whatever. You would wrap that with it. I've also read years ago that they would take their slaves with them as well and bury them next to them. Don't know how true that is, but if you're a king and a queen, you want the same type of treatment in the next life. So that's what they believed. The cutting of the nose has always fascinated me over the decades. And one good book I read years ago, or magazine article, was that the nose was changed so you couldn't identify what culture it was from. Don't know how true that is, but that's what I read. The structure of the nose can tell exactly what culture the tune is from. So again, when I see the nose and it's disfigured, there can be a reason. Here we have the coffin, the tomb with an animal on top, an actual animal. Internal organs were kept safe. Jars like these held the mummified organs of the dead person. So these were the jars that they used. They used these jars to preserve the organs. That's interesting.
On the national board exam, we had to name which, so each canonic jar has a different god on it, and they're supposed to hold different organs. And on my national board exam for funeral service, we had to name which jar held like the heart, which jar held the intestines, and so
Did the design of the jar determine what you put in it?
yes,
That's how it works.
yes,
Fascinating.
yeah.
So I'm with someone, and she told me that the different jar determines what they put in there. It is different design. I guess it's in relation to the head and the actual inscription of the jar. That's interesting. Wow. At the base, animals on each side. Animals as you go up each side. The birds. The eye. They're consistent, aren't they? The eye. The eye. So stories, right? So stories. You know, look at this here. All the hieroglyphics, the different types of hieroglyphics. There's other names for these things called different in hieroglyphics. And other names I forgot, but I just say hieroglyphics. This is the outside of a tomb. Crack a joke. There's nobody in there, huh? Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Isn't that something? Reminds you of Versace, doesn't it? It sure does. Reminds you of Versace. Versace. Yeah. It sure does. Interesting. Here's one here. Stars or X's? Stars. 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 This thing here holds power. Holds power, right? A nut holds power. The carry with him holds power. If I'm pronouncing it right. I don't pronounce things right sometimes because of my handicap, but you guys know what I'm saying. They carry that thing a lot. There's power in that thing. Spirits attached to it. Right? Here we go. You have coffins and mummy. I guess it's like a double, two people. One of these are children, or this is just a miniature. Probably children. Look at that thing. Interesting. French Eye Pearson at the Field Museum, Lakeshore Drive, Chicago. September to remember. We are here. Let's see what else we got. Look at this thing. This is fascinating. Look how fascinating that is. Look at that. I might make that my thumbnail. Look at that. Look at that thing. Look at that. That's interesting. Let's see what's on its head. Here's one on the side. Look at that one. It's well worth the price of admission. I get a discount as a senior citizen. Let's see here. There you go. Okay, I'm back to normal. I hit the wrong button. Look at that thing. Look how preserved it still is over what, thousands of years, I'm assuming? Let's see what we got here. Roman period. 30009. I figured it was an adult female. I figured it was from Roman. I did start seeing a change in the things here. Okay, here we go here. It's probably an infant as well. And then we have one here. But I'm really fascinated by this one here. Wow, look at that. Look at that. The colors are just preserved. Look at that thing. I wonder did they do touch up on these things, or they just it's preserved so well that I guess what I'm asking is it original?
Many bone issues. Next slide, move on. That wasn't, yeah, we did have Clifford. That wasn't mentioned. She's doing many bone diseases and bad malaria. Move on. Next slide, move on. At least we can't see the skulls. I don't like that's the thing with the British Museum ones is that they removed the funerary dress, which feels bad. They're not like yes.
Mummy with plaster face. It's called plaster face. Mummy with plaster face. That one's fascinating. That's mind blowing, people. how well preserved this thing is. Look at that.
These are from, these are dark masks. Some of these are from brothers. I would say they were, I don't know if they're Egyptian, but then these are the rest of them.
Okay, let's see what else we can get here.
I saw that photo. It was in that was just, that's the photo that we did.
Here we go again with the nose. See what I'm saying now? The nose. These noses. Everywhere you go, no matter what museum you go to, you have these noses. And again, I'm reading that people have literally cut off the nose so you can't tell what culture it's from. Wonder why they're doing that. This is what I've been reading over the decades, that that's done on purpose. It's crazy, ain't it? This one is just that red rock. I'm crazy about red rock. When I go to Arizona, I love the rock. Like spiritual rocks to me. You can see the snake on the head there. Right above the nose, right above the eyes, you can see the snake. The snake. I did a video a few weeks ago, showed the snake, where the guy was on YouTube saying that there are places in Egypt where they actually tame the snake. They wrap it up, put it on their head, and it stays set on your head like a crown. They still got places that have that, they say. That would be fascinating to look at, huh? If that's a spirit move. They play that flute or whatever it is. They play the flute and they tame the snake. It's interesting. This is one of the most famous ones that you see on YouTube. So I don't know if this is the original one, but this is the one that you see the most of. The etchings. You see this one a lot when you go. Look at that. There you go with the nose again. See the nose? See the nose is cut off? Keep cutting the daggone nose off. And that's something. Look at that. Vases. System with the eye. The eye looks just like Prince's guitar. See that? See the loop? It's just like Prince's guitar. Just like Prince's guitar. Entertainer Prince guitar. So there you go. Look at Prince's guitar. See the loop on Prince guitar? Look at that. Look at Prince guitar. Look at that loop. Look at the loop on Prince guitar. And look at that eye in the top left-hand corner. You think that's not it? Egyptian? What do you think? So what else we got over here? Did I miss anything? Wow. I think I was over here. Yeah, I was over here earlier. Or did I miss this? So much to look at, people. I don't think I went this way. That guy's creepy. Look at the nose again, huh? Bird. The falcon and the all-seeing eye of Horus, falcon. Sun god Ra, people. Straight up. It's just interesting to me that they done brought him back. Late period, 712 BC to 525 BC. I don't know what else we have. We might be done here now. Look at this one's got the disc on his head. See the disc in the middle? Got the disc on his head. This one has a disc. This one has the disc on his head as well. Is that the sun or the moon? The snake? It's got the snake wrapped around the sun, right? That's how it goes, right? With the sun god Ra. That disc evidently is the sun, and the snake is at the top of the head. The snake circles that. The snake is around the circle. Look at that one. Look at that one. Wow. Different types. There's another exhibit here. Necklace. That says A-M-U-L-E-T of Reese. A-M-U-L-E-T of Reese. Blue glazed New Kingdom period, 31150. Look at that. This is Friendship Pearson. I'm at the Film Museum, Chicago, Illinois, Lakeshore Drive. Look at that. Always the eye at the top, huh? Always the eye at the top, or the snake at the top. All seeing, want to be omniscient and all powerful and ever present. Evidently, it's got to be worship, right? Let's see what else we have. There's pottery. I'm not really into pottery unless it has etchings on it or engravings on it. That, my friend, looks like an owl. Look at that. Or is that a giant bird? Is that a bird or owl? Statue of Horus as a falcon. Wow. Black basalt. B-A-S-A-L-T. Roman period. The Romans were just as much into those artifacts as the Egyptians were. And this is called, again, the statue of Horus as a falcon. So that gives me an impression that a lot of these gods that they have, they transfigure, right? They transfigure. Interesting. They transform. They transform. A falcon as Horus. Wow, as Horus. A falcon as Horus. So a falcon can be considered also from ancient times as Horus as well. That's what they're saying here. This is what they're saying. A falcon is Horus. Here we go. Here you go. They're consistent with the nose, aren't they? Ring with A-N-T-E-L-O-P. Ring with scratch. I'm not sure who this is. Probably Nefertiti. It's beautiful, isn't it? There's another one. People looks like Michael Jackson, doesn't it? Think about it. I am not joking. It looks like Michael Jackson. And I've seen pharaohs that look like Michael Jackson. I wonder if there's some A-N-D backwards going on. A-N-D backwards is what? You know what it is, right? I wonder if there's some A-N-D going on in our lifetime. Because that looks just like Michael Jackson. At least if Michael Jackson that was transformed into that, maybe he was doing the Pharaoh thing, the Egyptian thing. Yeah, that's interesting that Michael Jackson would look like this at the end of his life. He's looking like a cross between black and Egyptian. Interesting, huh? If you put us side by side with Michael Jackson, you would get that, wouldn't you? Let's see. See if I can get that picture. This is fascinating to me. Let's see here. Michael Jackson is mummy face. I think that's close enough, people. What do you think? Look at that. I would say we got a match. Give me a second, people. Gotta play with the photographs here. That still looks like Michael Jackson. Look, I think I found it. Look, they got it in the. They've got it in the. Look, it's here. It's on Google. So I was right. Look, saw a mummy that looks like Michael Jackson. Wow. Man, I tell you. Come on. We'll do it one more time. I'm tired of playing with this thing. See if I can pull it up another way. Michael Jackson. All right, people, think you got the picture? Wow. Okay, I think I've done justice, right? All right, people, I'm done with that. Get frustrated after a while. All right, Mike. Oh boy, I couldn't help myself. Hieroglyphics. I'm fascinated by this. I wonder if they're doing some A&D in our lifetime, and they brought this man back. They brought this image back, or they made this image. Michael looked at it and said, "I'm gonna make myself an image," and change his nose. You think Mike was inspired to change himself? You think Mike was inspired to change himself? I would say, yeah. I met Michael Jackson back in the day. I was like 17 years old. I was hitchhiking. Back in the day, it was called Park Forest South. And he picked me up in a limo right in front of Governor State University in Illinois. You can Google it. He had a fro bigger than me, an afro back in the day. 1975, I believe I met Michael Jackson. It's 49 years ago. I sure did. I met Michael. I met Mike. He asked me about the music inside the college, Governor State University. Yep. He gave me a ride home in a limo. They picked me up and took me home. I guess Mike was like, "Hey, look, there's a guy hitchhiking. Pick him up." I don't know. I'm just guessing. But Mike did pick me up. We're the same age too. So he had to be the same age I was. Look at this. The bird, the falcon. That M is 13. Upside down is W. W is 23. 23 plus 13, it gives you 36. 3 6 is 666. And look, at the top, there's the owl. The owl is at the top. Yeah, where famous rappers have all the owls. Look at that, the owls. I've done a video on Travis Scott. Travis Scott, when he's getting a tattoo in the elevator, Travis Scott, there's an owl. There's an owl literally on the elevator. Travis Scott video. The video is called Highest in the Room. There's an owl in it. Here, I'll go try to balance it again, see if I can find it. I want you guys to see it. See if I can pull it up. These owls, they speak to us. They speak to us a lot of times in these videos, people. Highest in the Room, Travis Scott. In the video, he's literally, see if I can pull it up. I'll see in a minute. I'm gonna show it to you. He's in the elevator getting a tattoo, and there's an owl on the there's a shooting. I see a mass shooting I gotta cover. Breaking deadly mass shooting downtown Minnesota. I'll check that out when I get out of here. Let me see if I can find this Travis Scott video. Highest in the Room. I do have it in my photo journal. But, see if I can find it. I'm going to put the phone down for a second and I'm going to freeze and show you guys the owl. You know what? I probably won't be able to do it. I'm going to freeze it. See if I can show you guys the owl on Travis. Okay. You see this here? You see that image? Right where my thumb is. Where my thumb is, that's an owl. See that? See the eyes? That's the eyes of an owl. This is the Travis Scott video, Highest in the Room. That's an owl. You know, Drake has the owls too. Drake has the owls too. See the image of the owl? See that? Just like Bohemian Grove, right? Bohemian Grove, look at that. Highest in the Room. Make it smaller. See? He was getting a tattoo. Interesting. You think they know something? They just might. They just might. There you go. The nose is gone again. What's with the nose? Is that sacrificing something? Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. Go inside this tomb. Face to face with it. Face to face.
All the way to temples to eye. And then he
Wow. Face to face with it. Fascinated with these beasts. When God said I would have no graven images, no other gods before me. You break the rules, you lose your civilization. Because everything ceases in cycles. It appears these images are back in our time. Hieroglyphics. When you watch the people who interviewed during an event, like a gun shooting and whatnot, look at the impression on their shirt, or their hat, or their scarf. Hieroglyphics, all day. Hieroglyphics. So what else we got? Different mummies, people. Look at that. Different mummies. Look at that thing. What is that? Baboon-shaped coffin. A baboon-shaped coffin. Yeah, so they bury their monkeys with them and whatnot. Just bury monkeys in general. It's hard to make these out. It's too dark over here. I can't read nothing in here. People, it's too dark, so I'm gonna leave it from over here. I don't like dark spaces. Village shrines were tended by local priests and priestesses. The daily care of the images of the gods was their responsibility. This might include leaving flowers and incense and offering prayers on behalf of the community. So yeah, some more satanic stuff going on. I wouldn't be surprised. I forgot what those are. I wouldn't be surprised if spirits attach themselves to that and they have powers in them. I forgot what it's called though. Oh, I just want to look at things. Look at this giant bird. Look at that. Put a giant bird, put in mummified bird. Isn't that something? A mummified bird. Isn't that wild? Wow. There's a small one here. Always there. There's power in this thing. It draws power, I'm sure, like spirits to me. Telling stories at every event. They're telling stories, right? tools they use. Okay, we're going to double back. The most fascinating area is this area here. This one's fascinating. I tell you, it's in great shape. It's in great shape. And those are the jars that the lady was talking about. The organs are kept in those jars. Different organs are kept in those jars. Isn't that something? To take the organs out and preserve them separately in a jar with the head of an animal. Wow. And again, if you go to YouTube and watch the funeral of Whitney Houston, right outside at the funeral home, right outside the funeral home. This is what you see right outside the funeral home when they bring her body out. This is what's in front of the funeral home, Whitney Houston. I did a video on that in my last channel. Just gonna go through some of the most fascinating things I highlight, and then I'll get out of here. Look at that, Versace, straight up. Straight up Versace. Shared history, definitely. This is one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen in my life.
Adult female, male,
Pay attention to detail. Is that the sun behind the sun? And those are X's at the bottom, people. I'm seeing X's. These are X's at the bottom. What did X mean back in the Roman or Phoenician era or Egyptian era? Put in the comment section. What did the X mean? X is 24, Roman numeral. Why are the X's inscripted on the bottom of this coffin? Look, the X. The X. And then like the sunrise in the corner. See the sunrise? The rays of the sun? I guess that's what that is. Why are there X's? Are there X's? Why the X's? Symbolic of death? Why the X? Why is there the X?
¿Quieres ir a ver esa cero o no? Desde allá del otro lado.
Let's see if we can find another one that has an X on the tomb. I'm really wanting to find out about this X to see if it's consistent. If there are X's everywhere, it'd be fascinating to know. Are there X's on the coffin everywhere? Are they always there? That's the one I showed you earlier. The V and the X. See that? See the V upside down? The X. The formation of X. X. Dean season and cycle. Why did Elon Musk name it the X? When I interviewed Elon Musk's nanny, I had to bring it up on Rumble. When I interviewed Elon Musk's nanny about a year ago, she said that Elon Musk's mother had boxes like a shoebox of pharaohs that she carried around. Do you understand what I'm saying? Shalom Girl is her name. Shalom Girl. I interviewed her, and that's Elon Musk's nanny. When she babysitted Elon Musk, she says that his mom had shoe boxes with Egyptians inside, artifacts. Could that be why Elon named Twitter X? That's an excellent question, because we see an X with these Egyptians, no doubt. What has been is again, allegedly. Are they speaking without speaking? Have they been speaking in our domain like they did in the past? If I'm a betting man, I would say yes, they're speaking like they did in the past. And the powers don't want us to know. That's one reason I came here, because I want to be able to tell this story. There's something going on the planet in relation to history. There's something going on the planet in relation to ancient history. And it's good to know these things so we can see the symbols that they talked with in the past because they're using the symbols in the future. They're using the same symbols that they did in Egypt and in Rome. They're using these symbols now is what I'm saying. I have no doubt. I have no doubt. All right, people, that's it. I'm French Shot Pearson. Welcome to French Shot Blue. And we are going to end this thing. I appreciate you guys being with me. It is Saturday, September, I think 21st. Saturday, September 21st. I'm at the Field Museum. The Field Museum.
Catherine and Eleanor just went to Egypt.
And we're looking at the mummies, baby. We're looking at the mummies. Let me know if you know anything about an X on the coffin. I'm gonna upload this in about 45 minutes and it'll be on YouTube. So we'll end with that. I wanna know why they have the X on the coffin. That's what I wanna know. Put it in the comment section. I think it's stinky without stinky. See the X. Allegedly the rays of the sun and the snake on the head and the X. Is that an X formation? What is that? What are those? Is that X? What are we looking at? All right, I'm from French Shot Pearson. God bless. Take care.